Hello, sir. How are
Hello.
you?
Fine, thank you.
Great. And thank you so much for being here this afternoon. We are grateful.
Yes.
Great. I also have Mohammed Baba Idi. He's a consultant at GTV, P-Voucher Project, and a doctoral scholar in conflict studies in UBIDS. Good afternoon, Doc.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
I am doing good.
Great. And thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Pleasure.
And Doc is one of Alhaji Murtala's very close friends. Also joining us on Zoom, I have Idrisu Mohammed. If Idrisu, you are on, kindly unmute yourself and let me know that you are on. Idrisu?
Yes, I'm on.
Hello, Idrisu.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Doing very well. How about you?
God is in control. Thank you so much for joining us. We also have Suleimana Wakila, who is a level 400 medical student at UDS. Suleimana, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Great. And thank you so much for joining us as well. And
Yeah.
great. We have a video of beneficiaries from Alhaji Murtala. We always say that when you live right and do right. And this man did all he could to make sure that people got the life they deserved. Take a look at this video.
It's a tribute honoring a guiding light gone too soon. Alhaji Dr. Ibrahim Murtala Mohammed. It is with a heavy heart and profound sorrow that my colleagues and I pay tribute to a man who was more than a father figure to us. He was our mentor, our encourager, and unwavering pillar of support. Through his kindness and sacrifice, he made it possible for my colleagues and I to pursue our dreams of becoming medical professionals, training in the various institutions across the length and breadth of our country. He believed in us when we had little more than a vision for the future. Quietly, without fanfare, he took it upon himself to assist us with the payment of our tuition, lifting a burden that would have been impossible for us to carry alone. His investment was not merely in our education, but in the countless lives my colleagues and I hope to touch and heal in the years to come. Sadly, fate dealt us in a cruel blow. In a tragic helicopter crash, this great soul was taken from us far too soon. The shock of his passing still reverberates in our hearts. We grieve not only the loss of a benefactor, but of a man whose wisdom, generosity, and faith in humanity left.
And there's a tribute from the beneficiaries. Like I said earlier, Ibrahim is here, Mohammed is also here, and they are close. They were very close to Alhaji Murtala. For Ibrahim, he's a brother. And when the camera captures his face, you can tell he's a brother because they look so much alike. When he walked in, I said, "You are Dr. Murtala's brother?" He said, "Yes, I am." Ibrahim, I know Allah is in control.
Most definitely.
How did you hear of the news?
I was at work, actually working in It was at lunchtime. A colleague of mine who is even on retirement, knowing the relationship between myself and our late brother, he called. There was nothing specific. He heard government officials were involved in an accident. So I called my brother. His phone wasn't going through. That was around 1:15 on that Wednesday. So after an hour, I called again, it was off. And I called a few people who were close with him. You know, he had guys who helped him in the constituency. Although we are brothers, we confide in each other, but we live in different cities. There are people who are close, who actively engaged in his politics. So I called a few of them, and nobody told me anything concrete. The impression I got was he was supposed to have been part of the, and I felt that was quite diplomatic. It was short of telling me that he was part of it. So it was a clear denial. So I waited it out until it got to a point they could no longer hide it anymore. When I started hearing one of the senior politicians, very close to the late Honorable, had taken phone numbers of mine and other close associates, close family people and relatives. I knew that what we feared had been realized. So I had to make that torturous journey of traveling from Sunyani to Accra by road, because at the time we couldn't find a flight. It was really difficult, one of the most, if not the most difficult days of my life, especially my adult life, because we were very close. When we were kids, we actually slept in the same bed.
Wow.
There was even a time he had chicken pox. He was very young. We were both young. And I was saying, they say that if you are close to somebody and the person has chicken pox, you should have it. I didn't have it. Fortunately or unfortunately, I had it when we were in university, where I was with our brother, very close. And he came to support. He bought the lotion, medicine, everything. In fact, he is not just a brother, he was a mentor. He was, as I call him, a mu'alim. He was a teacher. And as a family, we are broken, but at the same time, we are grateful and thankful to Allah that he died so soon, yet the testimonies across the world speak about a man who lived a very good life, spiritually, and even his social life. You can hardly find anyone to say anything ill about him. Therefore, I was encouraged when I even read a comment on Facebook. His political opponent said, and I quote, "Comrade Murtala was a formidable opponent, and I have no doubt he was well researched." That was how he lived his life. And the life he shared with the family, I think, was the same he shared with the country and with the world.
Right.
And as I said during the reflection, this was a man, he was so forgiving. You know, sibling quarrels, whenever we had our quarrels, I'll sit in my corner, he will sit in his corner. He will be the first to call you. He will be the first to call you because he felt that it was not necessary. We loved each other. We had, at the end of the day, it was very hard. And I don't know whether it is ever going to be possible
Right.
to recover from this.
Wakila is also online. Hello, Wakila.
Hi.
Yes, Wakila, you are a level 400 medical student at UDS. Tell us how you and Alhaji Murtala's paths crossed.
Okay. Thank you very much for the opportunity. So, how I met him was a neighbor heard the news of him saying that he was going to support all the medical students in his constituency. So he scheduled a date to meet all of us. And that was the day at that time, we had already paid our fees, we had admission. And then later on, he spoke about it. So the very first time he paid, it was actually a refund. So he gave us back the money. And then he promised that every year onwards, he was going to continually support us. And he made it known that aside the fees he was going to be paying, there were other personal needs that if you communicated with him, personally, he was going to help you. So for us, he was like a father figure, a mentor. He was available for us. There's no way you would call him and he would see your call without returning it. And there's no way you text him and he would not return the text. And there's no way you tell him about something that he can solve and then he will leave it unattended to. Immediately you tell him and he's able to solve it, he's going to help you solve it. So his death came as a blow. It's not about what he used to do for us, but what he was to us. And even though I know that the Honorable said he was going to take the responsibility of paying our fees, but I know that it can never be the same again. We've lost someone that we actually had hopes in, and we were positive that he was going to help us till the end. He made statements like he was going to support us till the very end. And sometimes when I'm there, I'll just be so happy that on my graduation day, I'm going to be the envy of everyone because I knew very well that if I am to graduate and I call him, he was going to honor. So I'm so shattered, but I am taking solace in the fact that he's in a good place. And I know that everything he did for his hereafter, and he is there today. And I pray and hope that all the good deeds he did, Allah shows it to him, and he's happy wherever he is. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Wakila, for sharing this with us. Let's speak with Idrisu. Idrisu? Hello, Idrisu. Idrisu, if you can hear me, kindly unmute yourself.
Hello.
Yes, Idrisu. Idrisu, what's your fondest memory? Yes, I can hear you. What's your fondest memory of Alhaji Murtala?
Well, thank you very much. A very good afternoon to your studio audience and everyone watching this program. My very fondest memory with the Honorable Member of Parliament was I was in the house one time and then a strange number called me asking whether I was also a student at the University for Development Studies. And I answered yes. And the person was like, okay, I should send my admission letter via WhatsApp to that particular number, which I did. So I was there and the person texted me the venue that we are supposed to meet the Honorable Mohammed Murtala at this particular venue. So I was also looking for avenues to support my education. So when that came, I was very happy. I thought maybe it was going to be like an interview process, a selection process that like you have to go through, and then when you are fortunate, you'll be chosen for the scholarship. So fortunately, when I went, I was hearing the news that he was coming to reimburse wherever you paid. And I was like, what? Who does that? Because what I know is when there is an avenue like that, you go through an interview process and then the selection process. And those that are fortunate, you'll be awarded a scholarship. But here lies the case that this particular man, this man that I just met or like I'm just meeting, is coming to reimburse whatever I've paid like during my first year. Like I was so happy. It felt like I was meeting an angel. Let me put it that way. I felt like I had met an archangel on this earth because having to reimburse whatever I paid during my first year was my first time like getting that opportunity. So to me, he was more than a father to us in every sense, like in that word. And then what I vividly remember him saying was that, or constantly reminding us was that our education was more than like everything to him. And then he would see to it that the very moment we are entering level 100, and then to the very moment we are exiting level 600, he will make sure whatever expenses that are there, he will cover it. And who does that if not Alhaji Murtala? And as my colleagues just said, we'll miss him, we'll forever miss him. It's not going to be the same with any other person. But what can we do? Allah knows best.
Allah knows best.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for also joining us. It's tough, very, very, very tough. I must say, Ibrahim. I don't know. This is it's surreal. You know, exactly a week ago. Let me find out from you. Where were you when you heard of the news, Ibrahim? Oh. Sorry, Mohammed.
Oh, well, thank you so much for the opportunity. I was in the office when I heard the news, but before then, I had deluge of messages by inbox, and I was trying to figure out what was amiss. Then I called my uncle at the Daily Graphic Communications Group, and somehow he didn't also want to tell me what really happened. So then I started making calls. I called here, and it was the same thing. They will tell you initially what the name that came up was Muntaka.
Muntaka, yeah.
Yeah. So it was around I think somewhere around 12:48 exactly that somebody called to tell me that it wasn't Muntaka, it was our brother, our late brother.
And this was like 8 p.m.
No, 12:48.
12:48.
Yeah.
That was when you were told that it was him.
Yeah. By then, so I was heartbroken, and I had to leave the office for some time. Came back, and even my colleagues told they don't know the relationship I had with the Honorable Minister. So, in fact, I left for home very early that day. So on my way home, I called him, and he told me he was also on his way to Accra. What my brother what he didn't say about Honorable is that, well, one of the cardinal things about him was his passion to serve. That didn't start with politics, though. In fact, he had nurtured an ambition to enlist in the army.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That was how it started. I mean, after at least several unsuccessful attempts, the late father, Alhaji Ibrahim Young, told him that that wasn't his calling. So, I mean, his sense of patriotism didn't just start with politics. He had always wanted to serve the country anytime, anyhow. In fact, Northern Ghana, Tamale Central Constituency, Northern Ghana, and the entire nation have lost a parochial colossus. I pray and hope that we get somebody like him to fill in the void. But the point is, he was a formidable academic, a politician whose fidelity was to his constituents, the people of Northern Ghana and the people of this country. I hope that his replacement would have the will and the passion that our late brother had. Thank you.
Ibrahim, you wanted to say something when Baba was speaking.
That was just about, my brother spoke about his fidelity to his constituents.
You and him, who is oldest?
He's older.
He's older.
He's older.
Okay.
I think he gave true meaning to loyalty. His constituents were loyal to him. He was also loyal to them. And he would do anything for them. He would do anything. As we speak, there are a lot of people who, when they meet you in the streets of Tamale, all tears. People have actually describe themselves as orphans, not because they are related to him, but because they are his constituents. And they are so pained he's no more. That is why they call themselves orphans. The commitment was unwavering, and it has always been his passion to serve. As my brother said, 2 years consecutively to go into the army was not successful. He then went into another profession, which is also dedication and service, teaching. After teaching, then he went to university. His life was about service. And we've had conversations where he told me when he lost Nanton, he wasn't pained because he took the loss personally. He was pained because the vehicle to service was taken away from him. He felt politics or the office of parliament would provide an opportunity which he will not get as an ordinary Ghanaian. So it was all about service. And so when and there was even a case I referred to during the reflections, even at the time he had lost Nanton constituency, he had a project going on, a water project. He had to sell his own investment, a land he had secured, to complete the project. As we speak, there is a huge level of regret. The people felt he shouldn't have. And when he came to Tamale Central, he continued. He had a number of projects from health, and for each of the projects, we can see there is a personal one and community one. When it comes to health, the last record we checked, we have about 47 students he's sponsoring through medical school.
Wow.
Individual. The main source of income or revenue is the MP Self-Common Fund. At the community level, he has decided to build clinics. And so far, we have about 3 clinics.
Wow. Yes,
Sorry to
Baba.
cut you. He was even billed to cut sword for the 4th one.
On the very day...
just this last Saturday.
Yeah, last Saturday, 9th August.
9th August.
And he was
and the
buried on the 10th of...
Yes, and the flyers were already out.
Yeah.
And in terms of water, provision of potable water to the people of Tamale Central, and even beyond, I think he's been able to provide them about 80 or more boreholes. And so in Dagbani, they call, when he passed, they said, Komla and Pia, the provider of water is gone. Yeah. And in terms of inner city routes, Changley, he has opened up. That's where he was born.
Where we all grew up.
Where we all grew up. He's opened up the area, and some Gumbeni and other areas within the Tamale Central constituency.
How was he like as a young boy?
A young boy, he was resilient. He was fearless, respectfully, courageous, and he had passion to learn. He had passion to serve, to help. Personally, he dragged me along through our studies, and he always encouraged you to study, and he was passionate, because most of the things we relate to him, the development projects he undertook, he did them out of passion to study, and also passion as a human being, the feeling that every human being deserves a chance, every human being deserves the good things in life. And I think those were the things that motivated him. As much as he was courageous and fearless, he stayed out of trouble. He was involved in student politics from the days at Legon, even before, after he went to training college. He was a very interesting character. Some people think he's an enigma. He's not an enigma. He was an open book. He always told people that when they were in teacher training, he learned Patois. I remember until recently, I used to have a belt which he won as Patois King at Tamale teacher training. Yes, that was the man.
Wow.
One of his aliases was Isaiah Man.
Isaiah Man.
A reflection of his love for reggae music and his fluency in Patois lingua. Yeah.
May his soul rest in peace. I'll ask you one question each before we go. If you had the opportunity to say something to him, what would you say, Baba?
He has impacted, and his person has taught me one thing, that the measure of man's earthly life is not only about the number of years that we spent on this earth, but the depth of our service and our sacrifices and the sacrifices we leave behind and the sands of time. And I'd like to end with this quote, that to live in the hearts of those you leave behind doesn't mean death. It means you are still alive. Honorable Murtala is still alive in our hearts. So even though spiritually he is departed from this earth, but physically he still lives in our hearts. We pray for him, and we thank the good people of this country and even beyond for the glowing tributes they pay to him. Even let me specifically mention we are Muslims, and the highest spiritual upliftment of every Muslim is to have the opportunity to worship God at the Holy Kaaba. And I am a follower of Haramain Sharifain. That's the social media handle of the Kaaba. His picture was put there, and they prayed for him and acknowledged that he was a regular visitor of the house of God.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Ibrahim, if your brother were to be here, what will you tell him? Your final words to him.
My final words, I'd like to say something short before my final words. I think he lived a very good life. I used to think strangely that I may go before him. But he went before me. And perhaps the reason I felt so was that he's a strong character, and the world, which has no regard for meekness, needs people like that. And so finally, I would say, last words, I would choose him
Murtala
a million times as a brother if I get the opportunity.
Thank you for being here. We are grateful. And our love to the wife and all family members. We are praying with you.
All right.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you for having us.
You're welcome. Smile. You have painted a beautiful Ghana flag with a dove on it. Tell us a bit about it.
Yeah, so this is to the memory of all gone souls, and my condolences to all Ghanaians. Yeah, that's all.
Thank you for doing this. It means a lot to us. Thank you very much, Smile.
You're welcome.
All right, so on that note, we say a very big thank you to all of you that stay glued to your television set for for this conversation. We started at 1, we are ending at 3. All thanks to you. Thank you to production team. Thank you, studio audience. You're amazing. And thank you to everybody.